Timeless life philosophies.
Hey, everyone! Today we're diving into a fascinating topic: why God sounds delusional and the devil sounds realistic. It's an ancient teaching that reveals a profound parable about the two voices within every human soul. On one hand, we have the voice that speaks of dreams, infinite possibilities, and divine inspiration. On the other, we have a voice anchored in logic, caution, and worldly pragmatism. The former often gets labeled as delusional, the voice of God urging you to cast your nets into the uncharted waters of faith. The latter, praised for its realism, is the voice of the devil steering you toward the safe, the known, and the rational. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at a crossroads. To your left is a path marked by clear signs, well trodden by countless travelers before you. It's the path of logic and caution, where every step is calculated, every move planned. This is the voice of realism, whispering to you to stay on safe ground, to follow the familiar and avoid risks. It feels comforting, doesn't it? After all, it's predictable and secure, much like a warm blanket on a cold night. Now, to your right is a different path altogether. It's wild, uncharted, and brimming with possibilities. There are no clear signs, no guarantees, just an open expanse that calls to your spirit. This is the voice of dreams and divine inspiration, the voice of God urging you to venture into the unknown, to trust in something greater than yourself. It feels exhilarating, like standing on the edge of a vast ocean, ready to dive in and explore the depths. These two voices, realism and delusion, are constantly at play within us. The voice of realism, or the devil's advocate, keeps us grounded, ensuring we don't venture too far into the unknown without a safety net. It's the part of us that demands evidence, that wants proof before we take a leap. It says, "Show me the facts, give me the data, then I'll believe." On the other hand, the voice of delusion, which we'll refer to as the divine voice, encourages us to dream beyond our current circumstances. It asks us to believe in the unseen, to trust that there is more to life than what we can perceive with our senses. It's the voice that says, "Dare to dream, dare to believe in the impossible." This dichotomy between delusion and realism sets the stage for our exploration today. We'll delve into why God's voice often seems delusional, while the devil's voice appears so realistic. We'll uncover the deeper truths behind these perceptions and learn how to balance them within ourselves to unlock our true potential. So buckle up and get ready for a journey into the depths of your soul, where dreams and logic collide, and where your divine potential awaits to be discovered. The logical mind fees, the intuitive mind. So why does God sound delusional? Let's break it down. When we talk about delusion, we're not talking about madness. Instead, we're referring to the idea of transcending the limitations of the logical mind to embrace a broader, more expansive view of reality. Think about when Jesus told his disciples to cast their nets on the right side of the boat. He wasn't just giving fishing advice. He was teaching a deeper lesson about the nature of the mind. The left side of the brain symbolizes logic and rationality. It's where we analyze, calculate, and often get stuck in frustration and emptiness. It represents the limitations of relying solely on reason and evidence. The right side, however, symbolizes intuition and spirituality, the part of your consciousness where true abundance and possibilities lie. Imagine your logical mind as a tightrope walker. It carefully balances, steps cautiously, and ensures every move is calculated. Now, picture your intuitive mind as a bird, soaring freely, embracing the wind, and exploring the skies without boundaries. The logical mind keeps you grounded, but the intuitive mind lets you explore the infinite possibilities. The logical mind is a master of detail. It's like a meticulous scientist, examining every piece of evidence, ensuring that all the dots connect. It's essential for our day-to-day functioning, helping us make decisions based on concrete data. However, This same logical mind can also trap us in a cycle of overthinking and skepticism. We become so focused on what is immediately visible and provable that we forget to look beyond the surface, to imagine and dream. On the flip side, the intuitive mind is like an artist. It sees the bigger picture, connects seemingly unrelated ideas, and trusts in the flow of creativity. This part of our consciousness doesn't need hard evidence to believe in something greater. It's guided by a sense of knowing, a deep inner trust that there is more to life than what meets the eye. Consider how you approach your desires and goals. Your logical mind, dominated by the left hemisphere, constantly questions how things will happen and demands tangible evidence before taking action. This mindset keeps you anchored in a narrow slice of reality, limiting your potential to what seems possible based on current circumstances. When you step into the realm of what might be considered delusional, you open yourself up to a vast array of possibilities that the logical mind can't fathom. This isn't about abandoning reason, but transcending it. It's about recognizing that the unseen and unknown hold the keys to manifesting your deepest desires. By shifting your focus from the seen to the unseen, you tap into a wellspring of potential that defies conventional understanding. Imagine you're trying to solve a complex puzzle. The logical mind approaches it piece by piece, methodically fitting each part into place. It's efficient, but slow and sometimes frustrating. The intuitive mind, however, steps back, looks at the entire puzzle, and suddenly sees where each piece belongs. This broader perspective allows you to solve the puzzle not just by logic, but by a sense of knowing and flow. Embracing delusion, aligning with higher consciousness. Embracing delusion means aligning with the higher aspects of your consciousness, those parts of you that understand the interconnectedness of all things and the power of faith. The ancient masters taught that true creation comes from this place of higher awareness. They knew that the logical mind, while useful, is not the ultimate authority on what is possible. When you allow yourself to be guided by intuition and faith, you start to see beyond the immediate material world. This perspective enables you to bypass the ego's constraints and access a deeper wisdom. In this state, what appears delusional to others becomes a natural expression of your divine potential. You're no longer bound by the limited perspectives of the rational mind, but are free to explore the infinite possibilities of the universe. Imagine for a moment that you are an explorer standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. The logical mind, much like a seasoned cartographer, advises you to proceed with caution, to rely on maps and known paths. It's a voice of reason, ensuring that you don't lose your way. However, the voice of delusion, which we'll now call the voice of divine inspiration, urges you to trust your instincts, to venture into the unknown with faith that you will discover something extraordinary. This divine voice understands that true growth and creation happen when you step beyond the boundaries of the familiar. It's like planting a seed. You can't see the roots forming beneath the soil, but you trust that they are growing. This trust, this faith in the unseen, is what allows the seed to eventually sprout and flourish. Embracing delusion is not about abandoning logic altogether. It's about expanding your awareness to include the vast, unseen realms of possibility. It's recognizing that there is more to reality than what our five senses can perceive. This broader perspective is where true magic happens. Think about the great visionaries and innovators throughout history. They were often seen as delusional by their contemporaries because they dared to dream beyond the accepted norms. Thomas Edison, for example, failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. To many, his persistence seemed like madness. But to him, it was a journey of faith and intuition, guided by an unwavering belief in what could be. The Hermetic principle of polarity, seeing beyond duality. Understanding delusion through the lens of esoteric teachings leads us to the Hermetic principle of polarity. In every aspect of existence, there is a duality inherent, as illustrated by the saying, "All truths are half-truths," from the Kybalion. Labeling something delusional is like viewing it through a polarized lens. The rational mind sees limitations and deems anything beyond those limits as unrealistic. However, this perception is just one side of the coin. The opposite side reveals a broader truth. What is deemed delusional by one may be seen as visionary by another. This duality shows that reality is not fixed, but is a fluid spectrum shaped by your perception. Think about it this way. Imagine you are looking at a coin. On one side, you see heads. On the other, you see tails. Both sides exist simultaneously, yet you can only see one side at a time. This is the essence of polarity. It teaches us that every truth is only a half-truth, depending on our perspective. When we label something as delusional, we are only seeing one side of the coin. The rational mind, grounded in logic and evidence, sees limitations and dismisses anything that lies beyond its understanding. It's like trying to measure the ocean with a ruler. The ruler can give you a measurement, but it cannot capture the vastness and depth of the ocean. The Hermetic principle of polarity invites us to shift our perspective and see beyond these limitations. It encourages us to recognize that what may seem delusional from one viewpoint can be visionary from another. This broader perspective allows us to embrace the full spectrum of reality and understand that truth is not fixed but fluid. Consider the story of the Wright brothers. When they first proposed the idea of a flying machine, many deemed it delusional. After all, humans had always been bound to the ground by gravity. But the Wright brothers saw beyond this limitation. They understood that with the right principles and faith in their vision, they could transcend the constraints of the known world. Their success was not just a triumph of engineering, but of seeing beyond the immediate reality and embracing a higher truth. Overcoming the ego, trusting in intuition. The journey from the logical to the intuitive, from realism to what might seem like delusion, requires overcoming the ego and the rational mind. Your ego, which resides predominantly in the left hemisphere of your brain, constantly seeks to protect you by demanding answers as to how, when, and where. It thrives on predictability and tangible evidence, dismissing anything that lacks immediate proof. However, this very mechanism designed to safeguard you can also become a barrier, keeping you tethered to a limited materialistic view of reality. To transcend this barrier, you must learn to quiet the ego's incessant demands and trust in the higher intuitive guidance that resides within you. Whenever you find yourself questioning how your dreams will materialize, recognize that this is your ego attempting to maintain control. Intuitive mind possibilities are prevented from being fully embraced by this questioning created by fear and doubt. The key is to gently but firmly declare authority over these doubts. Instead of engaging in a mental tug of war, calmly acknowledge the ego's concerns and then shift your focus. Remind yourself that the how is not for you to determine. By doing so, you allow the infinite wisdom of the divine mind within you to orchestrate the details. Overcoming the rational mind requires redefining your understanding of manifestation. True manifestation isn't about manipulating external reality through sheer willpower. It's about shifting your internal state of consciousness. When you align your inner world with your desires, you no longer rely on external validation or evidence to feel secure. Instead, you cultivate a sense of certainty and peace, knowing that your inner alignment will naturally draw the desired outcomes into your life. Imagine your ego as a well-meaning but overprotective guardian. It wants to keep you safe, to shield you from disappointment and failure. But in doing so, it often limits your potential and keeps you from exploring the vast possibilities that lie beyond your current reality. The ego's constant demand for answers and proof can create a cycle of doubt and fear, preventing you from trusting in the intuitive guidance that seeks to lead you toward your highest good. To overcome this, you must learn to quiet the ego's voice and trust in the divine wisdom within you. This requires a shift in perspective from seeking external validation to cultivating inner certainty. It's about recognizing that true security comes not from knowing all the answers, but from trusting in the unseen forces that guide you. When you encounter doubts and fears, instead of resisting them, acknowledge them with compassion. Understand that these doubts are your ego's way of trying to protect you. Then, gently redirect your focus to your inner guidance. Remind yourself that the how is not for you to determine. Trust that the divine mind within you is orchestrating the details, and that everything will unfold in perfect timing. Embracing the delusional, a path to divine potential. Navigating the internal battle between delusion and realism is a constant challenge. On one hand, you have the voice of realism anchored in the logical mind, constantly reminding you of limitations and constraints. Often referred to as the devil's advocate, this voice focuses on practicality and evidence, urging you to remain grounded. On the other hand, there's the voice of delusion, which encourages you to dream beyond your current circumstances, to envision possibilities that defy conventional wisdom. You are being called by God to cast your nets into the unknown, where true abundance lies. This battle is not just a mental exercise, but a profound spiritual journey. When you embrace what seems delusional, you are not merely rejecting logic. You are choosing to align with a higher truth that transcends the material world. This alignment requires faith and a deep trust in the unseen. In moments of doubt, remind yourself that the greatest achievements in history were once deemed delusional. Visionaries, innovators, and spiritual leaders have all faced skepticism and ridicule, yet their unwavering faith in their visions propelled them to greatness. Your journey is no different. You step into your power as a co-creator of your reality when you embrace the delusional. It is not about choosing one over the other, but integrating both to navigate your path with wisdom and courage. As you do so, you transcend the limitations of the material world, aligning with the infinite possibilities of the divine. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast cliff, looking out over an expansive landscape. The logical mind urges you to stay back, to avoid the risks and dangers that lie ahead. It's the voice that says, "Be careful, don't take unnecessary risks." But the voice of delusion, the divine voice, whispers, "Take the leap, trust in the unknown, for there lies your true potential." This internal battle is a dance between safety and adventure, between comfort and growth. The rational mind seeks to protect you, to keep you within the bounds of what is known and proven. It's like a guardian at the gate, ensuring you don't venture too far into the unknown. But the intuitive mind, the voice of delusion, invites you to explore, to dream, and to believe in the impossible. It's the call of the wild, urging you to step beyond the familiar and embrace the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. So, next time you hear that voice of delusion urging you to dream big and reach for the stars, don't dismiss it. Embrace it. Because in that delusion lies the divine potential to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Remember, the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Dream big, trust your intuition, and watch the magic unfold.